wonderfully made. She's heaven's angel, so strong, even in struggle, yeah. When life comes like a storm from every angle, she rises above it all, the backbone of every home. Nothing compares to all she do. The true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Hey. Where would we be without you? You brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama, yeah, and Jesus too. Oh, she's sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful, educated, ebony, eccentric, empowering. She's a queen, she's a queen. You gotta treat her like a queen. Oh, Her strength is amazing. Life inside, 9 months she's carrying back to work, 'cause the family she's carrying. Society don't give her just due, but she prevails and stands tall, a champion, a true woman. But nothing compares to all she do, yeah, the true meaning of every family. She's the glue, yeah, oh. Where would we be without you? Yeah, you brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama, and Jesus too. Oh, she is sophisticated, strong, yeah, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful. Not only that you are educated, yes you are, eccentric, empowering. You're mine, she's a queen. You're mine, you're my. Treat her like no price could be put on how much she's worth. So valuable, she's the soul of the earth. Yeah. All a part of God's genius plan. Powerful as she can be, the man's H-E-L-P. Yes, sophisticated, strong, simply amazing. She is humble, honest, and helpful. What I like about her is she's educated. She's my ebony, empowering. Yeah. She's my queen. Sophisticated, strong, simply amazing. She's amazing to me. Humble, honest, if you ever had one. She's educated, she's my queen. She builds me up, she keeps me going now. Sophisticated, strong, she's my queen. Simply amazing. She is, oh my, she's my queen. Educated, ebony, she's educated and she's empowering. Yeah, she is my queen. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk with Bishop R.C. Blakes. R.C. is an author, empowerment teacher, am the proud pastor of the New Home Ministries of New Orleans, Louisiana and Houston, Texas. His message circles the globe. His conversational and candid approach to challenging content makes him a relevant voice to all generations. Get ready for a life-changing transformational conversation.
Well, hello. This is R.C. Blakes, and I am thoroughly excited about being able to share with you again. You know, I really look forward to our time together. I take it very seriously. I'm certain that if you've been with me for a while, you can see that I do. I hope that everyone is having an amazing day, and my prayers that something we'll talk about today will shift your life. I was pondering what should I talk about? What should we discuss today? And I know it was Holy Spirit who put it in my heart, in my spirit, on my mind to discuss how a woman builds her confidence, because I think that is a subject that I think many women shy away from, the subject of your confidence, because broken consciousness, a lack of really understanding who you are, what your real value and worth is, puts you in a position where you're constantly trying to impress people that you are something, because you've not come to terms with who you are, your value and your worth within yourself. So you always show up like, I'm the confident woman, I'm every woman, it's all in me and all of this kind of thing, when the reality is, behind that facade, you are struggling to believe in yourself. And so I want to kind of deal with this almost head on today, because I think it's going to help a lot of women, older, younger, doesn't matter what your age or your stage. I think this conversation can help you, because the thing that the world uses against the woman constantly is insecurity. When you lack confidence in yourself and you don't really believe in you, the world will sniff you out like a shark sniffs out blood in the ocean. And the world will pounce, and the world will take advantage of you. Now, if you look in Proverbs 31:25, if I'm looking down this way, it's because my notes are here. It reads like this: she is clothed, and this is the NIV version, the New International Version, says she is clothed with strength and dignity, talking about the virtuous woman that excels them all. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. Powerful verse. Now, this verse refers to the virtuous woman, of course, described clearly in Proverbs 31, and it portrays her as someone who is strong, dignified, and unafraid of the future. Her confidence stems from her trust in God and her character. So now, how do we get a generation of women from a place of timidity, insecurity, low self-esteem, to a place of authentic confidence? I love what Christina Grimmie says. This is important, especially for women to hear. She said, confidence is not quote, they will like me. Confidence is, quote, I'll be fine if they don't. And why did I think that was such a powerful quote? It's because most women live with this idea of, it's a group thinking kind of mindset. It's I got to be a part of, the clique. I got to be if they don't accept me, that's one of the ways that women devalue themselves. If the group doesn't accept me, if they don't like me, I can't see my own value. True confidence is knowing that if they don't accept me, I'll still be fine. Oh, wow. Now, let me start off with this. Wherever there is a lack of confidence, there's a deficiency in certain areas, and I'll name just a few. In other words, if you're sitting and you're with me today and you're watching this, you're either live with us in real time or you're watching the replay of this. If there is a deficiency, if there's a lack of confidence in you, there's a deficiency in certain areas. I'll name a few and let's see if we can locate you. Letter A, when a woman or a person for that matter lacks confidence, there is quite often a deficiency in their original programming. And the Bible says what? Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he won't depart from it. So there's an original programming within all of us, right? And it's largely based in how we were parented. It's based in how we were educated. It's based in the community or the tribe we come from, or the village we come from. These things established our original programming. Now, sometimes that original programming was not so good. Other times it was absolutely great. But we all show up into the world with some original programming. Now, none of us could have avoided our history for the most part, but we all are in complete control of our destiny, at least most of us. Unless you're in some precarious position, legal position, health condition, or something like that. But 99% of the time, our destiny is completely in our hands. But if you're sitting and you lack confidence today, it may stem back to the way you were raised. You might have been raised by people who demeaned you or did not esteem you or pour into you. Or maybe they were people of low self-esteem and, they only gave you what they had. And so your original programming was faulty. Your default was faulty, or your default is faulty. Wherever there's a lack of confidence, there's a deficiency in letter A, your programming. My father and mother raised me to believe in myself. All I heard all of my life was, you can do it. You can be the greatest at this. You can be the greatest at that. You know what I'm saying? My struggle with confidence was not, had nothing to do with my original programming. It had everything to do with traumatic experiences, primarily being a teenage father at 15, and experiencing social ridicule. It kind of impaired my confidence for quite a while. And I had to work my way through that, and I had to work my way out of that into a place where I could really embrace the world and show up with my full strength. But a lot of folk did not have that kind of parenting. Okay, letter B. Let's see, letter B. Maybe a deficiency in letter B, your skill set. You know, you may lack confidence because you've not put in the time to sharpen your skill set in whatever your particular area is in life, or you've not been afforded the opportunity to sharpen your skill set. And so this is what you do, this is who you are, but you know that you're not at your best because your skills have not been sharpened yet. Right? And whenever we've not had our skills sharpened, we always show up with a sense of timidity, apprehension. It's almost, impossible to escape thoughts of doubt. But when we get those skills sharpened and we know what we're doing, come on, somebody, it's kind of like David and Goliath. David says to Saul, I can't use your armor to go and fight Goliath, but I know how to use my slingshot. He says, your stuff is not proven, mine is proven. Whenever your skills are sharp, you can show up with a sense of what? Confidence. Every woman should really devote herself to education, to self-development, because the world is always striving to break the woman's confidence. Because if the world can break your confidence, if the world can break the confidence of a queen, the world then can usurp her power. And the world, this toxic culture, thrives on the broken consciousness of women. And so every woman should commit herself to education, to self-development, to empowerment. You want to make certain that when you show up in the world, you know what you're doing. Because you're not entering a world that is going to at all aid you in terms of believing in yourself. So you have to know that when you show up in, a world, a boardroom, or just a world in general that is saying to you, you should accept second or third position just because you're a woman, you have to know that you know what you're doing. And the only way to know that you know what you're doing is to what? Have your skill set sharpened. Letter C. There's probably a deficiency not only in your original programming, not only in your skill set, but clearly in your personal estimation. This is where women quite often struggle, women and men, people, quite often struggle with imposter syndrome. You've done all of the work, you've prepared yourself, you've educated yourself, you've paid the price, you've gone around the block 4 or 5 times, and now you have the opportunity, but you show up with a lack of confidence because your personal estimation of yourself is lacking. You have not reconciled your abilities and your preparation with your identity. So though you're prepared to be to sit in this seat and to fulfill this role, in your mind you don't identify yourself as such, so you feel like an imposter. And so now where you should be stepping into your strength, now you're cowering and you're yielding to fear and to doubt because your personal estimation is so poor. Letter D. Wherever there's a lack of confidence, there's a deficiency in your programming, your skill set, your personal estimation, your circle. Sometimes we're just surrounded by faith killers. Sometimes we're surrounded by people who will talk us down off of our greatness. Many times we're surrounded by people who will talk us out of doing certain things because they're afraid to do it, and they don't want us to accomplish it, because if we accomplish it, we've then gone to a level that they are afraid to go to, and they would rather us, even though we're eagles, they'd rather us stay at a level, at an altitude where they can fly. And so they'll talk you out of the mountain peak, and they'll talk you into the treetops because they can go that high. And so a lot of times you lack confidence because of your circle. You're not surrounded by people who are encouraging you, who are cheering you on, people who are motivating you. You're surrounded by people who are shrinking you, people who are miniaturizing you. And I know I'm talking to a lot of you. This is where the toxic sisterhood, in my opinion, is as bad on the development of womanhood as toxic men. When you have sisters who intentionally talk you out of your greatness, and you call these people your BFFs, and your BFFs never have anything encouraging. They're never celebrating your rise. They're always talking you down and talking you out of your greatness. So those are just a few things that I listed. Now let's get into the heart of this lesson. How does a woman build her confidence in a world that is committed to shrinking it, draining it? How do you maintain a confidence? Now, let me also say this. A woman that is really confident, she doesn't have to say it. Because queen conscious women have presence without saying a word. Now don't get me wrong. There are women that are leaders and entrepreneurs and motivators, and they have to show up in public spaces, and they have to say, well, I'm a boss chick and I'm this and I'm that, because they have a greater agenda. But in general, day-to-day life, if a woman really is confident, she doesn't have to say it. Confidence has an undeniable energy. Confidence is really the thing. This is just a message to even brothers. Confidence is really the thing that's most attractive to women in men. It's not so much how good he looks, or not even necessarily how much money he makes, because I see brothers that are broke and don't even want a job that, have some of the, most attractive, upwardly mobile women. It's the confidence. I see brothers with money and are very good looking who can't buy a woman. Well, hopefully nobody's trying to buy a woman anyway, but you get my point. And it's because what? They lack confidence. Confidence has an energy. And when a woman shows up with a certain confidence, that's queen energy. That's wife energy. Come on, somebody. And so, number one, how does a woman build her confidence in a world that's constantly trying to drain it? Number one, she has to daily insulate her soul. I really meant to have something to illustrate this for you, but I don't have it, so I won't be able to do it visually, but hopefully my words can paint a picture for you. Insulation is pre-establishing boundaries between you and certain other influences. When a house is well insulated, there's material that they use in the walls and in the attic of the home to keep out the elements. If it's very cold, insulation will lock the heat in. If it's very hot, it'll lock the heat out and keep the cool in. It's a boundary between one place one entity versus another. And any woman that walks in confidence and maintains her confidence lives with an insulated soul. Now, what's the soul? The mind, the will, the emotions, especially. Any woman that has an unshakable confidence insulates her emotions, insulates her mind from all of the influences, the negative and triggering influences of the world. And I mean, quite honestly, these principles apply to men as well. If you're going to walk in confidence, your soul is going to have to be insulated because the world is constantly sending messages. You're not good enough. You're a failure. You're a loser. Or it's not going to work this time. You have to block out all of these voices. This is what the Bible means by, or at least this is a part of what the Bible means in Proverbs 4:23, where it says, "Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." Insulate, keep, protect, shield, keep safely your heart, for out of it are the issues of life. Whatever you allow to get into your heart, into your inner workings, your inner being, your thoughts will manifest issues in your life. Your life is the product of your internal condition. And so we have to what? Insulate. We must insulate the soul. The woman that sits in her confidence has insulated her soul. Now, how do we insulate the soul from the toxic influences of the world? How does the woman do this? Meditation. Meditation. God told Joshua to what? Meditate on the word day and night, that he might observe to do it, and then he would make his own way prosperous, and then he would have good success. Meditation is choosing your thoughts. That's basically what biblical meditation is. It is choosing your thoughts. And watch this, the thoughts you choose are the thoughts God has established for you. And so you find out what God says about you. You forget about what RC said about you or some other, person out here. You find out what God said about you, and you keep that in front of you day and night. You keep it in your eyes, you keep it in your ears. You put it on your doorpost so you see it every day you go out, every time you come back in. You hang it on your mirror so that your mind is what? Inundated with God's thoughts concerning you. You think about it, you speak it, you say it, you mumble it, you meditate. That's how you insulate the mind. When the negative influences of the world establish a thought in your mind that is negative, you pull it down through, your words, through quoting what God says about you, what you believe about yourself. You find your favorite Bible teachers and your motivational speakers, you find quotes that they have, and you commit those things to memory, at least commit them to vision, put them in your space where you can see it and you can meditate. How does the woman insulate her soul? Meditation. Letter B, reflection. Reflect on truth. Now you have thoughts that will, try to rob you of your confidence, thoughts that might say, you're not this or you're not that. But you know what? When you really stop and you get out of all of the hysteria of that emotion that lie produced, and you really sit for a minute and you reflect and you look back over your life, you have more than enough evidence to disprove the lie that is trying to rob you of your confidence. That is a benefit of meditation. In the process of meditation, you also get a chance to reflect, and you get a chance to look back over your life, and you get a chance to see, okay, I'm having this thought about me as a woman, but it's a lie. because I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, and done. It's a lie. This thing I'm about to, jump off the cliff over is a complete and total lie. As I reflect, I can see clearly now. So you insulate the soul through meditation, through reflection, and then through rejection. You meditate, you reflect. I kind of gave you a hint of rejection. Once you reflect and you see, you can look over your life and you can see all of the wonderful things you accomplished. You go and look in the mirror, you realize that you are an extremely beautiful woman in and out. Now you got to reject those lies. The Bible, the Apostle Paul, I think it was, called it pulling down strongholds. You got to reject those lies. You got to pull those things down, and you got to spew that stuff out of your spirit like you're spitting stuff out of your mouth. You have to reject unfounded lies. And then you have to project yourself. In other words, doesn't matter what emotion you may be feeling, what thoughts you may be having, step into the best version of you. Come on now. Step into the best version of you. Project yourself. You ain't got to feel it. Project yourself. You got to project yourself in the direction you push your life in. You command your life to develop corresponding feelings. See, you're waiting to feel it before you do it. Babe, you got to do it before you feel it. Because doing it before you feel it is also a part of your process of renewing your mind. I hope this is helping somebody. So how does a woman build and maintain her confidence? What do we say? Number one, she's going to have to insulate her soul. Here's the illustration that I was going to use. I was going to write on a piece of paper, "You are loved." That's what I was going to do. I was going to write on a piece of paper, "You are loved." I was going to take that piece of paper, and I may use this illustration at some other point, illustrating how a woman has to embrace a negative, toxic world on a daily basis. Doesn't matter what the truth is, you are loved. The paper symbolizing the truth that is written in your spirit, on your heart, from the Creator, you are loved. I was going to take that same paper and immerse it into water, the water symbolizing a toxic world. And we were going to see how, at best, that image of "you are loved" would have been marred, if not completely distorted, that you wouldn't be able to make it out. Then I was going to take another piece of paper and I was going to write "you are loved." I was going to slide that paper into a Ziploc bag, symbolic of insulation, boundaries. And I was going to immerse the Ziploc bag with the "you are loved" on the inside of it into the water. And we were going to see how an insulated paper would not be impacted by a negative environment. When you take the time to insulate, establish boundaries around your soul, you are putting your soul, your emotional well-being, into a Ziploc bag. You are putting boundaries between your heart, your soul, and your spirit, and this negative, toxic world that would seek to erase God's declaration of value spoken over your life. Now, number two on my list relative to how a woman builds her confidence and maintains her confidence in a world that is seeking to drain it. Number two, she's going to have to qualify the voices that she takes seriously. Million different voices out here, sweetheart. But you're going to have to qualify the voices that you take seriously. You cannot listen to every voice, nor can you take the voice of a clown and give it the strength of the voice of a king. You're going to have to qualify the voices that you take seriously, the voices that should, number one, dominate your consciousness. Number one should be the voice of God, the opinion of the Creator. That should be your primary voice. Number two, spinning out of His voice, it should be your own voice. You should be the greatest prophet of your own future. You should take the voice of God and you should parrot the voice of God internally to your own spirit and soul. And then number three should be chosen others. You can't just be a woman that's out here listening to everything on the social media, every voice that's talking to women on the television or the radio. If you're going to be a woman that maintains her confidence, you're going to have to be a woman that qualifies the voices that speak into her life. You can't listen to everything and everybody. I watch women. I've watched women, and I watch women even today that just, it's almost like you get addicted to people that have nothing but negative things to say to you, especially men that demean you and tear you down. It's like you keep showing up for that kind of treatment. You keep showing up to listen to that kind of rhetoric, and then you listen to it so long, it's like you begin to parrot it yourself. It's like the voices of toxic men. It's like those voices take over your vocal cords, and now you're out here saying the same stuff that toxic men are saying. It's because the people you listen to are resetting your soul up or down. The voices you listen to are resetting you internally, reestablishing your internal settings up or down. If you're a Bible reader and you remember what happened with Elijah after he defeated the false prophets of Baal, Jezebel's prophets, she sent message to Elijah that I'm going to kill you tomorrow. And the Bible says when he heard what the messengers of Jezebel said, he started running for his life. He became suicidal and he panicked. It's because the voices we listen to can build our confidence or destroy it. That's why I pay attention to, before I take any particular person's voice seriously, I listen to the first few seconds or minute or so of what they're saying, and I check with my spirit. If I don't feel good, if I feel triggered by it, if I feel like this is not going to bring me to a good place, I cut them off. I shut that down, because I am the police of my own heart. I have to police my ear gate. What I allow to come into my ears is going to directly impact my confidence, my ability to believe in me, my ability to believe in God. And so how much more important is it for a woman to qualify the voices that speak into your life? If you look in Proverbs 27:6, listen to what it says. Faithful are the wounds of a friend who corrects out of love and concern. But the kisses of an enemy are deceitful, because they serve his hidden agenda. You have to qualify the voices that you allow to speak into your life as a woman, because a lot of these voices are not designed for your empowerment. Come on now. The Bible says many false prophets have gone out into the world. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits to see whether they are of God, because many false prophets have gone out into the world. You have to qualify the voices that you allow to speak into your life. Even as Christian women, you have to choose your churches carefully. You have to choose your pastors carefully. Why sit in a church or under someone that's going to diminish your capacity to believe God for the best version of you? And it's happening all day in religion, in culture, in entertainment, in education, in politics. It's happening all day in the lives of women, where you're submitting yourselves to the voices of men that are simply trying to shrink you. Wow. All right, lest I be too long, let's see. Number 3, how does a woman build her confidence and maintain it? She must insulate her soul. And number 2, she must qualify the voices that she takes seriously. In other words, there's some voices you just got to laugh at. You got to know that's a fool. You have to know that this is, a jester. Come on now. You got to know that this is a jester. This is not a king, because even in the court of a king, there's the king, but then he always has a jester, a clown that everyone laughs at. You can't take the words of a jester seriously. You're gonna let somebody tell you about what you can't have. You can't have no relationship because of your age or because of your size, and they don't have a woman. We don't see no relationship they got, and you gonna take that seriously? You gonna take relationship advice from somebody that ain't got no relationship? They ain't married? Come on, man, get on out of here with that. Come on now. You have to qualify the voices that you take seriously. You don't jump all on the social media responding to everybody that disagrees with you. You're above that. Queens don't respond to, critics. Queens don't care nothing about critics. Critics are just undercover fans. Anybody to take the time to type out "you ain't this" and "you ain't that" in your feed, that's an undercover fan. People that I don't care about, I ain't taking out no time to be typing nothing. You know how much energy it takes to type and press that button? I ain't got time to do that. No. Number 3, women that build and maintain their confidence, they learn to own their energy, kind of leading out of what I just said. You don't let folk come in and hitchhike on your energy. You don't let folk hitchhike on your energy. I can tell folks sometimes want to get a rise out of me, want me to respond, because if I respond, a whole lot of folk are going to chime in. I'm not giving you that. No. You're going to have to earn it the hard way, homie. I'm not giving you that. You can say what you want. I'm not responding to you. I own my energy. You ain't going to pull me up. You ain't going to pull me down. I own my energy. I'm the only one control my thermostat. Come on now. I'm the only one control my thermostat. I own my energy. Never let environments establish, your energy as a woman. Doesn't matter that you got to go to, a corporate environment where they don't believe in you. Well, what you thought? What you thought you was going to? You thought you was going to, a cookout? What you thought you was going to? A reception, a welcoming party? No, babe, when you a woman and you breaking through glass ceilings and you sitting up in rooms where, formerly it used to be nothing but men, and now you sitting up in here performing and doing your thing and excelling, you're not gonna be sitting around tripping about how people don't like it. Don't care nothing about them liking it. They gotta deal with it. You gotta own your energy. When you go into your job, that's not your family. You don't care how these people feel, what they feel about you personally. That's not even your business what these people think about you personally. You're there to perform and to excel. Own your energy because your happiness is your responsibility. It ain't those folks' job to make you happy. They can't make you happy. They can't keep you happy. It's your job to own your own energy, to show up happy and to leave happy. Somebody don't like it and they, you know, just tripping and they trying to create issues. Just look at them. Just look at them. And when they're done saying whatever they want to say, just ask them, are you all right today? And then proceed to excel. Because if you're going to maintain your confidence, you got to own your energy. That's a part of the insulation process. When you're well insulated, when your soul is insulated, you own your energy. See, that's one of the things I say to women, especially about knowing when it's safe or time for you to go into a relationship. You should never go into a relationship until you know that if this does not work, I still can own my energy and I can move on whole and healthy. If you feel like if I try to do this relationship and it doesn't work, it's gonna take me 4 or 5 years to recover from it, babe, stay home. Don't do no relationship. When you get to a point where you've matured enough that you can own your energy, that if a relationship doesn't work out, you can take you a little while and just, cry or whatever, but you're not gonna be blown away by it because you know that you have control of your own energy and no man is gonna hijack your energy, hitchhike a ride on your energy. Come on, somebody. Women that have and maintain confidence own their own energy. Proverbs 25:28 says, he that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that's broken down and without walls. In other words, anybody can run up into your world all willy-nilly because you ain't got no walls. You ain't got no boundaries. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is controlled by the world. Right? All right. Number 4. If you're going to develop and maintain confidence as a woman, you're going to have to learn how to dominate your doubts. Because you're going to always have, we're going to always have some doubts back there in the back of our minds. There was a man that met Jesus one day and Jesus said, I'm going to do what you need. He said, well, Lord, I believe, but help thou mine unbelief. That's a part of the human condition, that in one part of us we can believe completely, in another part of us we can have questions. But those of us that stay situated and centered in our confidence are those of us who have learned to dominate our doubts. Mark chapter 11, verses 22 and 23, it says this, and Jesus answering said unto them, have faith in God. Verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith. Now, when he says shall not doubt in his heart, he's not talking about a passing, fleeting question of some kind. He's talking about one that refuses to doubt at his core, has not accepted doubt as his internal setting. He says this person will have whatsoever they say. Now, how do we dominate doubts? Letter A. You're going to have to keep your language up. Keep your language up. You know, the last thing you want to do as a woman is to be around here practicing negative, debilitating, low vibrational language. You got to keep your language high. You know, you got to keep words in your mouth like, I'm beautiful, I am capable, I am winning. You know, you just got to keep your language up. Letter B, you got to always be prepared. Stay prepared. Don't go if you're not prepared. Stay prepared. When you're prepared, you know that nobody can take your preparation from you. Letter C, drown out fear with gratitude. When you start getting afraid of opportunities, you got to shift your thinking from, I'm afraid of this opportunity I have on the job, and I'm fearful, and I'm doubting. You got to shift that to, I'm so grateful I have an opportunity to go to the next level. I'm so grateful that I have an opportunity to open the door for the next woman. I'm so grateful that I have an opportunity to prove to the world who God created me to be. And notice how that energy shifts. You go from, I'm scared, what if I don't make it? What if I can't perform and all of this kind of stuff, to I'm so great. Oh my God. Letter, keep your language up, stay prepared, drown out fear with gratitude. Letter D, reframe every negative thought. Reframe every negative thought. Find a way to twist every negative into positive. You know how your mind takes every positive and twists and somehow finds a way to twist it into a negative? I need you to reframe the negative and twist it into a positive some kind of way. Come on now. Come on now. Oh, rather than saying or concluding, they look me dead in my eye and looked over me. Twist that into, oh, they didn't recognize me. They'll catch me next time. Learn how to reframe every negative. Letter E, keep going no matter your feelings. Keep going no matter what you're feeling. This is how you dominate doubts. If you keep going, your life is going to disprove the doubt. If you keep going, your life is going to disprove the doubt. You don't have to feel like a winner to win. Boy, I almost screamed like I was in church right there. You don't have to feel like a winner to win. Sometimes you can be apprehensive, you can be afraid even, but just do it anyway. Courageous people are not, they're not people who are oblivious to fear and apprehensions. They're people that just refuse to allow those fears to, dominate their behavior. They do it afraid. And when they do it afraid, they get outcomes that make them say, now, what was I afraid of in the beginning? And then they what? They don't only go to the next level, they grow to the next level. And then watch this, and I got to get out of here because my time is gone. Number five, and finally, when we talk about how does a woman build her confidence, number five, and finally, always show up at your best. Don't leave out the house. Don't leave out the house. Show up at your best. Show up at your best. Yeah. Comb your hair to go to Walmart. Yeah, put a little. You ain't gotta do a whole lot, but put a little powder on your face before you go to Walmart. If you know you ain't got your you need a pedicure right now. Don't wear them open toe shoes to Walmart. Put your feet in something until you get to the people to take care of that, and make sure you go take care of that. Yeah, show up at your best always. Don't. your job. Don't show up to your job, half cocked, half prepared. No, be ready, man. If you got to stay up all night, always be ready. If you show up at your best, see, the way you feel about the way you show up is going to dictate how you feel people receive you. So if you show up at your best and you perform at your best, your subconscious mind is going to say, okay, they see you functioning at your best. So you're going to feel like they receive you at your best. Now watch this. If you show up half cocked, they may think you're great, but because you know you're not at your best, now you feel like they're not receiving you. They're not seeing you at your best, because the way you see yourself is going to always be the way you think the world is looking back at you. So if you want to build your confidence, show up as your best, because then you're going to see yourself as your best, at your best, and you're going to view the world as seeing you at your best. Proverbs 31:29 says, many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excels them all. You got to show up at your best physically. Don't worry about no standards of the world. The world trying to tell you, well, you got to be this size. You got to, no, babe. You got to be your best physically, whatever that means for you. Whatever weight that is for you, the weight you feel comfortable at, the weight you're healthy at, the weight you can function, the weight you feel good at. If you're not feeling good about your weight, you need to gain or lose. Let that be an internal judgment, but be at your best physically. Be at your best emotionally. Do the work you got to do to get your emotions centered and under control, and then be at your best spiritually. Make certain that you have your walk with God intact. And so I think if you do these things, I think you can show up as a woman that can build confidence and sustain confidence. Hope you got something out of this today. Now let me pray for you, if I may. Father, I thank you for every person that's watching this. And now my prayer, dear God, is that you will take these words and cement these words to their hearts. And I uproot all insecurities and fears. In Jesus' name, amen. Now listen, my time is far spent. I got to hurry up and get out of here. Make certain that you go to the website, rcblakes.com, sign up for my mailing list, check out all of my online programs. Watch this. I just dropped Mordecai Mission as an online program. The normal Mordecai Mission program is a 3-month Zoom program with Lisa and I and a whole team. And we go every weekend when I have time to do it. My schedule is getting busier and busier, and I'm not certain that I'm going to have time to do it. So I've not scheduled another Mordecai Mission. So I took all of the 12, almost 13 hours of teachings on video, put them up into a program. All of the notes and the worksheets, that everything that the women get in the Mordecai Mission in person or by Zoom, you can get by way of the online program for less than half of the cost. So if you've been wanting to take Mordecai Mission, I encourage you to go and check out Mordecai Mission at rcblakes.com. I think it'll be a blessing to you. Now listen, don't forget to go by Amazon, pick up all of my books. Thank you for supporting us in that way. What am I missing? Thanks to all of you who have sown into our lives. Lisa and I love you so much. And if you need counseling, that's the part I was missing. Check out the link in the description. We have a wonderful relationship with BetterHelp Counseling. And if you use the link and if you choose to use BetterHelp Counseling, it will afford you 10% off the cost of counseling. And they will, in turn, make a deposit into R.C. Blake's Ministries because I recommended them to you. Now, listen, I have thoroughly enjoyed this time with you. I want you to have an amazing evening. Know that you're on top. You're going higher. God has more in store for you. So we will see you at the top, right? But before we see you at the top, I need you to use your finger and hit the like button. Now, help me out. I love y'all. Until next time, I'm R.C. Blakes. God bless.
We here at R.C. Blake's Ministries want to thank you for spending this time with us today. R.C. and Lisa are always honored to have you with us. Don't forget to reach out to us by visiting our website at www.rcblakes.com. While you're there, you may join our mailing list and receive a free download of The Laws of Manifesting Your Vision by R.C. Blakes. Also look at all of the online programs by R.C. You may find all books written by R.C. and Lisa. Once again, all of us here at R.C. Blake's Ministries want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And as we always say, see you at the top.